All right, my homie.
What's up, big dog?
What's your name, brother?
My name's Conrad Borquez. 47 years old. I'm sorry, excuse me. Born and raised right here in North Denver. I remember one time we were down dealing over here at my grandpa's house, and this one dude called on the phone. We didn't have cell phones then. This is a rotary phone. Rotary. Bzz, 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 bzz. So this dude calls and he's like, "Where's John and where's Anna?" I'm like, "They're not here." He starts getting jazzy. "Where the f are they? You better fucking have them call me when they get there." I'm like, "All right, bro." So he gets there. He got shitty with me. So I tell my dad, I go, "Hey, bud, that dude was fucking popping lip on the phone, homie. He was talking crazy." So my dad was like, "Really? Okay." So my dad called him over. Dude came up to pick up his shit. And my dad hands him his stuff. They do the exchange, and my dad goes, "Hey, bud, Conrad, come in here." So I walk in the room. He goes, "Were you talking shit to my son?" And that dude right away is holding me. "Hey, bro, no, I wasn't." And all of a sudden, my dad just drilled him. Whack! And that dude goes flying behind the TV, cracks and lays him down. Dude's holding his jaw. He's like, "Get up." And dude was like, "Bro, I swear. And dad gave him a beat and threw him out of the house. And I was like, damn, he taught me how you handle business. You know what I mean? When people disrespect you, or he was just that dude. So, like I said, my life changed. It got to a point where I was around 13, 14. Him and my mom got away from each other, and just was a tough time, brother. I was always the dumbass that was had the ideas of pulling off. I had one of my friends tell me one time, bro, and it kind of like caught me off. This was after prison. We linked up again, and he was like, "Man, I always did shit when you were down for it." And I was like, "Why was that?" And he was like, "Because you always made the plans, bro. And I knew if you did the plan, shit was going to go right. We were going to get away with it." You'd have your little pull-out bag. I used to have my little pull-out bag, but I actually carried my in it. It was a little 380. There was no pull-out in that motherfucker. But we would laugh when people would take their pull-out out and put it under their seat, like, "Oh, no one's going to get me." Click, click, you get their shit, and it's over. We'd be able to get into cars, but no one even knowing. We like VWs. We used to love those because you used to be able to pop the lock on them without even breaking the window or doing nothing stupid. Original criminals, we really didn't, we would call ourselves criminals. We really didn't call ourselves a gang, man. And we were small. We was maybe 25, 28 deep at the most. I'm talking older faction, younger faction, and criminals don't call themselves OG. You won't hear a criminal ever call himself an OG. He calls himself an OC. And the reason that is, if you're original criminal, the first audio that they came out with was a Chicano United Zoot Suiter. So any criminal that's original has the tat CUC. It's henceforth, that's why we use the word cuz. This was always frowned upon by Mexicanos and Chicanos in the neighborhood. They kind of wondered why we used the word cuz. We were some of the first ones to do it. And so with the brothers would flip out too when we'd use the word cuz. They were like, "Cuz," and I'd be like, "This CUZ, homie." You know what I mean? So it was different, you know what I mean? And yeah, we had a chop shop. I remember.
You guys are Crips, though? You're not?
No, by no means are no Crips. We used to rock North Carolina. Original criminals always walked the North Carolina light blue, baby blue was the original colors, the NC. And they rocked the NC shit for the Northside criminal, you know what I mean? They was about it, bro. I'll be honest with you, for being one of the smaller gangs, they're one of the tougher gangs. I think as far as hands, the reason why they all had hands is because we was always beating each other's asses in the backyards, challenging fools. And it was always the bigger dudes challenging the littler dudes. So a lot of them dudes got hands. I got homeboy, my homeboy Danny Boy, solid dude, bro. Always pounded down. That's one of my best partners. We did a lot of wild together. I got mad love for that dude. That's my homie. Couple other ones, my homeboy Dan P. But no, make no mistake about it. They can get down with the best of them. We never got pushed out of the north side. Let's just say that. All the bigger gangs, they can never make us leave a spot or any of that. They knew if it would get handled, you know what I mean? And then the homies wasn't afraid to you know what I mean, go to work.
What did you guys beef for?
All the north side gangs, so we would fight with a lot of NSMs, UTAs when they first hit the spot. UTA. So a lot of people that don't know this, a lot of Northside factions came from the original NSMs. UTAs were a faction and an off branch of the NSM. Diablo was a faction and an off branch of the NSM. Hitman, and I don't want to really speak out of line, but I think originally they might have been an off branch and just started their own thing. So Hitman Posse, those were some serious guys. We got along really good with the Hitmen. Criminals and Hitmen really function together. So we really never beefed with any of the Hitmen. We had a lot of love for them, Cass and all them dudes. My homeboy Big Benzo, rest in peace. Yeah, my homeboy Ron C. A lot of the real ones, the Hitmen, they were down for theirs. We partied with them. We got money with them dudes. But the UTAs, I would say, the UTAs is probably one of the ones that we would always get down with. And which was crazy is because a lot of them were my friends from junior high school and stuff. So I originally knew them as NSMs.
You ended up in the joint, huh?
Yeah, and I was functioning with the criminals at this time. At this time, I would purchase a lot of. So I was doing real good. We was dealing dope. We had a spot where we used to. I had this Mexican restaurant, and my homeboy was getting he was getting it real expensive. He's taxing me like $800, $900 for the bricks, and I kind of knew where he was getting it from. And lo and behold, my sister started working at that restaurant, and the owner of the restaurant had the hots for my sister. So had my sister holler at him and invite him to the house, and he wanted to get at the sister. So I had a conversation with him, and lo and behold, he started giving me the pounds on the front for like $350. My homie was taxing me like 500, 600 chucks on these bricks. So yeah, I blew up, man. Everything was fine. And then when the money wasn't enough from the weed, wasn't enough for my appetite, I started moving to the white. And probably the worst mistake ever made. I met up with my mother's I met up with my daughter's mother, and she was a go-getter. Her name was Lisa Garcia, God rest her soul. She was killed by the cops about 1.5 years, a little 2 years ago, for wanted for a murder. So this was my ex, and I don't have no hate for her or anything, but we didn't have a good relationship. The attraction started because she dealt drugs hard. She was probably like my best customer, and she was about that business, and we attracted to each other, and it was probably the worst kind of relationship you can get into. We're talking about domestos, shit like that. I was a crazy youngster. I can only apologize for shit like that. I hate me for it, but I'm gonna be honest, I have a domesto for that woman. We used to have this woman pointed a gun when I was sleeping, hit me, pistol whipped me when I was asleep, swung an iron at me when I wasn't looking, broke my arm. So we've had a domestic relationship, so that's where that domesto comes from. But she was a crazy woman, man. She was about her money, and we were going hard. We got robbed by some bloods over here on 41st and I don't say 41st Paris. We got robbed over there, and was fools kicked in the door. My stepdad, who was the guy who I learned all the rules from, the hardcore dude. It's just when I found out he wasn't as hardcore as I thought. I was tweaking, and someone knocks on the door, and before I told him not to open the door, he opened the door, and here comes in these two dudes with guns. Little fools pull face, and they got us. They got me for like a zip. They got me for like a zip with some endo. They tried to take my chains, and I'm not no tough one. The dude was waving a 40 cal in my face. I could have met my end right there. I pulled his hand off my chain, and he was like, "I'll buck you." And the kid was shaking so bad, he was scared. He was shaking, and he went to run out. When him and his friend went to run out, I grabbed my gun under the seat and I blasted all the way up the stairs trying to shoot him. Got down the stairs. I ran outside and dumped a couple in their car. They got away. I ended up knowing who did it. They didn't get much, you know what I mean? There was a way more in the bedroom. They were so scared they missed all of it. You know what I mean? They got pocket money is what they got. But that's when I moved out of the north side. There were some little sangres that lived over there. They got handled. I'll just leave it at that.